Ah, what the? He was shouting angrily. Are you out of your mind? He said angrily. He was sleeping peacefully, but then someone threw the glass full of water on his face. It's time to go for the class. I was calling you, but you didn't respond, so I just threw some water on your face. She really having a most innocent face in the world. You stupid girl. I will. Before he said anything, she just ran out of the room saying, Wakey, wakey, Mr. Kim Taehyung, she said while running out of the room. Let me explain you. The girl name is Ryan, who is sweet, loving, caring, and naughty. Her family live in the Korea, and she came in London for study. And the arrogant, angry boy is Kim Taehyung. His parents also live in Korea, but in Daegu. He is also a student in same college with Ryan, and same class too. They both are roommates too. Didn't hate Ryan so much because of her silly habits. He hated how she wake him up. She watch movies till late at night. She create mess in the room. One was sitting on the second last bench and waiting for Taehyung. He is always very angry with her, but even so, she don't know when a soft feeling arose in her heart for him. But she's confused that it is love or just attraction. After a few minutes, she came out from her thoughts when she heard some noises behind her. OMG, look, my man is coming. Let me set myself. She starts touching up her makeup. One rolled her eyes as she heard these things daily multiple times. She was talking about Taehyung, who was entered in the class with angry face and as usual sat in the first row. When that girl saw Taehyung sit on the first row, she immediately stood from her seat and go towards first row, then sit beside Taehyung, showing her all teeth out. One looked at her angrily, but she remained sitting on her seat as usual. And Taehyung ignored that girl, like he always do. After a few minutes, teacher came in the class and started lecture. Taehyung is a genius student in the class, but Ryan was totally opposite to him. She is a weak student, not too much, but she doesn't pay attention to her study as she should do, and this is the first thing Tiang hate about her. One was walking, minding her own business, then she felt a slap on her. She looked behind. Hey, where were you are? I was missing you so much, he said while pouting. How dare you to touch me like this, Max? She said angrily. He's Max, her senior, whom she hated so much. He always bullying her by touching her. Oh baby, calm down. You can share your room with that arrogant Taehyung, but you just can't let me touch you. This is not fair. He was about to touch her. Just leave me alone. She jerked his hand and ran from there. She hated him so much. One came in her room and locked it. The tears starts falling down from her eyes. She sat on the bed, putting her palm on her chest to calming her heartbeat. She wanted to tell all this to someone, but it felt like she has no one. She tried to tell her teacher, but Max already told her teacher that Wine asked him for a date, so her teacher ignored her complaint. Max's reputation was not good, however, he didn't let Wine well. Taeyong also knew about this, but he also knew the half truth, as everyone's. She tried to tell him, but he didn't listen. Open the door. Taeyong banging on the door loudly. One blinked and frowned. Are you deaf or what? As soon as the door opened, he started yelling at her. He was knocking on the door for a long time. Oh, I'm sorry. I was in the washroom when you started knocking, she said nervously. Taeyong pushed the door angrily and came inside. She closed the door and sat again on bed. Taeyong was in the washroom. She was biting her nails. She thinks to tell him about Max. Maybe he can help her, but she was also afraid that would he even believe her? Taeyang came out from the washroom and directly laying on the bed. Taeyang, she called his name. I want to tell you some. Before she complete her sentence, Taehyung cut her in the middle of her talks. I don't want to hear your any nonsense. I'm tired. Let me sleep. He said and closed his eyes. Wine pouted. Can you please turn off the light? He looked at her. Yeah, sure. She immediately switched off the lights and lay down. Taehyung, she again called his name. Are you sleeping? She asked innocently. Yes, he answered her while putting his hand on his eyes. One understand that he will not listen her, so she just closed her eyes. But when she opened her eyes again, she shouted. Taehyung opened his eyes in shock and looked at her. She jumped on his bed. Taehyung, Taehyung, help me. She hid behind him and started shouting. He frowned. What happened, Ryan? Leave me. She was holding his shirt tightly in her fist. Look there, Taehyung. She points to the wall above, but Taehyung didn't saw anything. What? He asked. She points upwards again, and now he saw the reason for her shouting. There was a small lizard. There was a faint light so he can saw. Wine, leave me. This is just a small lizard. It will not eat you. Go back to your bed, he said while trying to free his shirt from her grip, but she held it more tightly. No, no, no. I will not go on my bed. I'm scared. Taehyung rolled his eyes in anger. Run it away, or I will be sleeping on your bed. She laying down on his bed, still hold shirt. What? No way. Just go, Ryan. He saw upwards. See, it's gone. One look upwards. Where? She moved closer to him. Now I will not go to at all. Don't know where it will hide. I will sleep here. What the hell, Ryan? He said. Okay, fine. You sleep here. I will go on your bed. He said and was about to go, but she held his hand to stop him. No, 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 please stay here. What if that lizard come this side and fall on me? I know you are stupid, but Ryan, you don't need to show it every time. Now leave. He pulled out his hand from her grip, but she held it again. Today I will not listen to you. I'm sleep here and you too. And that's final. She hugged his arm tightly. Tim knew she will not listen to, so he just laying down too. Next morning, Taehyung opened his eyes and felt something on him. He looked down and found Ryan hugged him like she hugged her pillow. He always wake up in the middle of the night for study, but last night when he wake up, he saw Ryan still hugged his arm tightly and sleep peacefully. He tried to free his arm, but she didn't let him, so he just slept again with her. And now she's laying hovering over him, hugged him. Her lip was pouted. She looks cute. Tank smiled but immediately hid it and shake her. She turned her face but still hugged him. Wine, get up. We will getting late. He again shake her, but she didn't awake. Wine, no response. Fine, he said and pushed her, and then she fell on the floor. Are you idiot? Can't you just be gentle? She stood up with her half asleep eyes. I was calling you gently first, but you didn't respond, so I simply pushed you from me, he told her while going towards the washroom. She touched her, then sat on the bed, waiting for him to come out from the washroom. So then she go to freshen up. Taehyung always wake up first because if she gotten up earlier, the method of waking him up would have been pissed him off. One was going for her class, but then she dragged by someone in the empty classroom. Taehyung came in the class, but today he didn't saw Ryan. She must be busy somewhere, he thought, as she always make excuses to go far from her studies. So he quietly sit on his chair, and as usual, that girl comes and sit beside him, while smiling like an idiot. Taehyung ignored her and looked at the entrance gate. After a few minutes, teacher enter and start lecture. Taehyung was playing basketball with his friends. He loves basketball, it's his passion, and he is really good at it. He was playing, then someone entered. Can we join you too? He came with his boys. He put his bag on the corner and stand in front of Taehyung. He was smirking as always he did. Taehyung nodded and then the game started. They both were like enemies. They looked into each other's eyes. He hit Taehyung. Hey John, don't you dare to do this again. I will not spare you, he warned. Okay, okay, man, I'm sorry. He apologized. By the way, they again start playing. Where is your that roommate? He triggered Taehyung. I must say, you are so lucky to have a girl roommate, and that too this much. Hmm. He flying kissed. I told you many times to change the room, but you always refused it and beat me. He put the ball in the basket. He came near to Taehyung. Tell me the truth. Did you enjoy nights with her? Taehyung controlled himself and was about to go